the Second World War ended in 1945. England was victorious in this war, but suffered losses on a very large scale. The mass movement for the freedom of India, the armed movement by the revolutionaries, and the armed struggle of the Indian National Army had weakened the foundation of the British rule. Therefore, the British decided to hand over the administration of India to the Indians. For this, they opened negotiation with the Indian leaders. On 18 July 1947, the British Parliament passed the Indian Independence Act. By this act, India was partitioned and two independent nations, namely India and Pakistan, were created. 15th August 1947 was fixed as the day on which to grant independence to India. At the stroke of midnight on 14th August 1947, the British Union Jack was lowered, and in its place the tricolour of independent India was unfurled. India became free from the shackles of slavery to the British. It was the fruit of the immeasurable sacrifice of millions of Indians. On this historical moment, the first Prime Minister of independent India, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, said in his speech, "Long years ago we made a tryst with destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not wholly or in full measure, but very substantially. At the stroke of midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom." Let's study about the liberation struggle of the people in the princely states. India became free, but a struggle for independence was not complete. There were many princely states in British India. Some of the rulers of these states were unjust and oppressive. The people of these states launched a movement against their unjust rulers. They wanted their rulers to merge their states with independent India. Due to the firm determination and diplomacy of the first Home Minister of independent India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, most of the princely states merged with India. The Pakistan army started infiltrating into Kashmir. At that time, Kashmir too merged with India. The people of Junagadh also decided to merge with India. Liberation struggle of Hyderabad. Hyderabad was the biggest princely state in India. The ruler of the state was known as the Nizam. He committed atrocities on his people. The people gave a tough fight against the unrestrained regime of the Nizam. This struggle was led by Swami Ramananda Tirtha, Govind Bhai Shroff, and others. The Hyderabad State Congress launched a movement in which hundreds of students participated. Many women, including Asha Tai Wagmare, Sushila Diwan, Kaveri Bai Bodhankar, Saraswati Borikar, and others participated in it. The people of Hyderabad state demanded the merger of the state with India, but the Nizam planned to remain independent. He arrogantly challenged the government of India. At that time, the government of India took police action against the Nizam. On 17 September 1948, Hyderabad state merged with India. The struggle launched by the people of the state was successful. Integration of the French colonies. Although British rule ended in India, some territories were still under foreign rule. Chandranagar, Pondicherry, Karaikal, Mahe, Yanam were under French control. After India became independent, the French government opened negotiations with the Indian government and handed over the territories under its control to India. Now let's gather information about Goa Liberation Movement. Goa, Diu and Daman, Dadra and Nagar Haveli were under Portuguese rule. The Indian people had to struggle in order to liberate these territories. Dr. T.B. Kuna was in the forefront of this struggle. After India became independent, strenuous efforts were made to end Portuguese rule in India. Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, Nana Sahib Gore, Hirve Guruji, Senapati Bapat, Madhulimaye, Sudhir Fadke, Mohan Ranade, Sudhatai Joshi, Sindhutai Deshpande and others were in the forefront of the Goa Liberation Movement. Batches of satyagrahis from Goa Liberation Committee of Maharashtra entered Goa territory one after the other. The Portuguese tried to suppress them, but the satyagrahis continued their struggle. Finally, on 19 December 1961, the Indian Army liberated Goa from the control of the Portuguese. The history of our freedom struggle is very inspiring. It was a struggle against oppression and injustice. It was a struggle to attain freedom from the clutches of Western imperialism. Many patriots sacrificed their lives to liberate our motherland from foreign domination. Liberty, democracy, and equality of men and women is a valuable legacy of our freedom struggle. It is the responsibility of each of us to preserve this legacy.